Hi, welcome to String Masters Tutorials. My name's Nick. I'm here to help you set up your String Masters studio. To help you get set up, we're going to cover how to customize your profile, how to set up your pricing and settlement options, how to add students to your roster, how to book lessons with students, and how to set your availability for students. Before we start, you need to know how to get to your String Masters studio. You can access your String Masters Studio from any screen by clicking on String Masters Studio in the banner. Okay, let's start with customizing your profile. Personalizing your profile is really important because it lets students know about you as a musician. To edit your profile, you can either click on My Profile in your String Masters Studio, or you can click on your avatar icon in the upper right of the screen. When editing your profile, you can set your avatar picture here. You can also let your students know which instruments you play and genres you prefer here. Let's move on to setting up your pricing and settlement options. There are two ways of handling payments on our platform. In option 1, you can be paid through String Masters. String Masters has a seamless integration for payment processing. This means that your students can pay directly through our site and then we'll transfer the payment over to you. In option 2, you can arrange payments through some other platform. Regardless of the settlement method you prefer, we do charge booking fees. To learn more about booking fees and String Masters memberships, take a look at our plans and pricing page and determine which suits you best. If you want to handle payments through String Masters, you'll need to provide some information. You'll need to set your lesson rates and choose a settlement method. Keep in mind that lesson rates need to be at least $5 for 30-minute lessons and $10 for 60-minute lessons. As for settlement methods, you can choose to be paid either through PayPal or by check. If you prefer to go through PayPal, you'll need to set your PayPal email address. If it's the same as your String Masters email, you can check the Use Above email box. Otherwise, you'll need to enter your PayPal email in these two fields. If you prefer to be paid by check, we'll need your mailing address. If you've already entered this information in the above fields, you can check this box. Otherwise, you'll need to provide the name to whom we should address the check and your mailing address in the following fields. Don't forget to click Save before exiting this page. Let's move on to adding students. In String Masters, you have access to a space where you can see all of your students' details and book lessons with them. Students don't need to be members of String Masters for you to add them to your roster. Once you send them a lesson invitation, if they're not already a member, they'll be prompted to register so that they can join the lesson. To add a student, go to your String Masters Studio and click on Add a New Student. This will open a modal form where you can enter your students' details. Once the details are entered, click on Add to add this student to your roster. If you want to see a list of all your students, click on View My Students in your String Masters Studio. Let's talk about booking lessons with your students. There's two ways to schedule lessons with your students. For the first method, click on Schedule a Lesson in your String Masters Studio. This method will require that you either pick a student from your list or enter a new student's details. Alternatively, you can go into your students list by clicking on View My Students in your String Masters Studio and then clicking on Schedule a Lesson on a specific student's card. In either case, the scheduling wizard is now open and the following procedure applies. Start by entering a message for your student, a lesson date, lesson duration, and a lesson start time. Then, click Next. You'll have to choose a payment method for the lesson. You can either have payments go directly to you, or they can go through String Masters. In either case, a booking fee will be charged. If you want to handle payments directly, you'll have to pay the booking fee before a lesson invitation email is sent to your student and before the lesson will appear in your upcoming lessons. If this is your preferred payment method, select option 1 and click Next to review your order. You can now see your order details and submit it by clicking Confirm Order. And finally, click OK on the pop-up window. If you prefer to have your payments go through Stringmasters, then the booking fee will be deducted from the student's payment, and the remaining balance will be transferred to you. For this option to be available, you'll need to have set lesson rates and a settlement method, as covered earlier in this video. Choosing this payment method will send an email to your student with details about the lesson and a link for them to pay for the lesson. Once they pay for their lesson, they'll receive a lesson invitation email and the lesson will appear in your upcoming lessons. If this is your preferred payment method, select option 2, click Send Invitation, and click Yes in the pop-up window. Once you've booked lessons, you can view them by clicking on View Upcoming Lessons in your Stringmasters Studio. Alternatively, if you prefer to see them on a calendar, simply click on My Calendar in your Stringmasters Studio. Now that you know how to set up your profile, add students, and invite students to lessons, let's talk about how you can set your availability and have your students do the booking. If you want to make this an option, click on My Calendar in your Stringmasters Studio. Here, you can view your scheduled lessons and set available times for students to book lessons with you. To add an available time slot to a day, click on the plus icon in that day's box, input the start and end time of your availability, and click Add. You can also edit or delete availability time slots by clicking on them and doing the appropriate action. From your student's perspective, they can see your availability by first clicking on Take a Lesson in the banner and clicking Take a Lesson on your instructor card. If they want to book a lesson within one of your available time slots, they can click on that time slot, which will open this pop-up window. Here, they can choose the duration of the lesson they would like to have, pick a lesson time slot within your available times, and click Add. They'll now be able to check out and pay for the lesson, which will in turn add it to both yours and the student's upcoming lessons. There you go. You're all set to start using Stringmasters. Happy teaching!